I know what I told you I was going to talk about. I told you that I want to talk about the night face fears rewarded. And I hear you. Somebody said, did pretty good with the body of the text, but he ain't said nothing about them rewards. Each of them tell you, he didn't forget. I see 3 rewards in this text. The first one is riches. The next is reputation. And the last reward is rest. Say that with me. Riches, reputation, and rest. Good to see you. Oh my God. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Let's look at verse 25 of the text. Oh my God. Watch this. Verse 25 says, watch this. So Jehoshaphat and his men went to carry off their plunder, and they found among themselves great riches, more than they could take away. And there was so much that it took 3 days to collect it. Listen, riches and abundance.
Yes.
But notice this now. Watch this. Their abundance came as a result of wrong done to them by the enemy. Their abundance came as a result of people who tried to kill them. In other words, they wound up being the ones killed. Big Mama used to say it like this: if you dig a ditch for me, you better dig too. And if you cause me to spend some restless nights, yeah, you better go by the drugstore and get you a few sleeping pills. And if you cause me to cry, you better invest some stock in the Kleenex company, because you got some crime to do. I wish I had a witness here. Grandmama said you're going to read just what you sow. Now, Philip, I will admit, I used to go around singing to somebody that done me wrong song. I used to say, hey, you know, I'm a nice guy. I'm a pretty good, decent fella. Why they doing me like they doing me? Why they talking about me like they're talking about? But Hanson, I gained a new outlook on this thing.
All right.
I gained a new perspective on folk messing with me and picking at me and plotting the downfall and planning my demise. I just stand back and look at what they got. And I just said, I'm going to look good in that car. Yeah, I'm going to look good in that house, yeah. And you know, this is exactly what happened when they walked up in the camp. And they saw all these dead bodies. And they just said, you dead. Well, I guess you ain't going to get washed no more. You dead. Well, I guess you ain't going to need them earrings no more. Yeah. Well, I guess you ain't gonna need that wallet no more, Craig. Are y'all with me here?
Yes, all right.
Now, I want you to watch this. Listen. Everything, watch me now, I'm gonna try to call it. Everything that they took from the enemy was really already theirs. It was what the enemy had stolen from them beforehand. But not only did they get their stuff back, but they got double for their trouble. Reach up and tell your neighbor, say, God will give you double for your trouble. watch this. Verse 29, watch this, watch this, watch this. Watch this. I said, the fear of God came upon all the kingdoms of the countries when they heard how the Lord fought against the enemies of Israel. They not only got riches, but they got reputation. See, whenever the Lord fights for you, you become a reaffirmation of the reputation of God. What am I saying? When you come through your struggle, when you come through your storm, God not only creates a reputation for himself, but he creates a reputation for you also. People won't mess with you. Reach over and tell your neighbor, say, you don't want to mess with me. I got a reputation. Now, some of y'all say it like you used to say it when you was in the world. You know, you get ready to now look, you don't want to mess with me. Y'all know how we do it. Huh? Y'all put them earrings on, put them shoes on. You really don't want to mess with this. Watch this. So here's what happened. They got out their day plans. And every nation that had planned an agenda, had an assignment, an appointment to fight against Judah, they start calling and say, hey, listen, cancel that appointment. Hey, listen, I don't know about you, but listen, I canceled my appointment with Judah. We ain't bothering them. Listen, they got somebody fighting for them that I don't even want to mess with. Leave them alone. They leave us alone. Everything will be all right. We ain't bothering them. They ain't bothering us. Leave them niggas alone. We were coming up in the neighborhood, children, you know, I think about this junior made mom that lived across the street from us, and she had 3 children, Mary, Pat, and Benny. And Pat, she used to have a little crying she used to do when we'd be chucking rocks at her, and Pat would always say, y'all better leave me alone. And mom said, y'all be chucking the rocks at her. Say, man, but listen, you can't be no crybaby.
All right.
You got to tell the enemy, you don't want to mess with me, because when you mess with me, you messing with my God. And God will fight for me. Don't you remember when David and his 250 men went into the cave of Absalom, hiding from Saul? And while Saul was en route for them, trying to hunt him down, God called the spider's attention and told the spider to web up the cave. And when Saul got there, David and his men were sitting in the cave, looking at the enemy through the webs. And the enemy said, ain't no need to go in there. Look at them spider webs. Ain't nobody in there. And let me tell you what God will do. Sometimes God will let you sit back and watch your enemy and say you make it around you, but you can't get through. You know, he's going to tell you that the Lord will web up your cave. And when David and the men come out that cave, they was a force to be reckoned with, and wouldn't nobody else bother them. Reach up and tell your neighbor, you don't want to mess with a man who just come out of a cave. I got to get out of here. You remember when Jesus raised Lazarus? And after he raised Lazarus from the Bible said the chief priests Jehoshaphat was at peace, and God had given him rest on every side. Lord, not only will God give you riches, oh Lord, and not only will God give you a reputation, you're not hear me, but God will give you rest. You don't hear me. In other words, God was saying to Jehoshaphat, Jehoshaphat, it's over. Do I have a witness here? Oh, Jehoshaphat, you don't have to fight anymore. You don't hear me tonight. And I don't know who you are tonight, but sometime you get tired of fighting, fighting on your job, fighting in your home, fighting in the church, fighting to make ends meet, fighting your addiction, fighting the devil, and fighting your fears. And God says, enough is enough, and you count through it all and tell him, Father, I stretch my hand to you. Lord, if I know you don't hear me, and I'm glad tonight, God knows when you had enough. You don't hear me tonight. Oh Lord, and that's when God steps in and says it's over. Do I have a witness here? Somebody here almost lost your mind. Yes, Lord. Somebody here almost wound up in a crazy hole. But you got on your knees and you prayed to God, and God help you get your mind back. And now you can tell somebody that He is a mind regulator. You won't hear me tonight. Somebody has heard your heart broken. Yes, Lord. Somebody has had your feelings hurt.